It's been a really long week. How you doing? Have you had a good week? This is the new moon in Scorpio video. I'm recording this on the new moon day. And when I come to a video, I always play music first, then whatever song comes into my head. It's sort of like a predictive thing, or there's some sort of thing with music in me that just comes through. And the song that came in out of nowhere was Ooh Child. Ooh Child. You know that song? Ooh Child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh Child, things are gonna get brighter. And there's a part where it says something about walking in the light of the beautiful sun. And it just felt so optimistic. And this Scorpio week, this Scorpio season, this period is so intense. It's like so deeply intense. And there's hope within it though. So what this Scorpio new moon has, and it grows over this last week and into next week. It's like, and then it sets the seed for a whole 6 month period. Okay, so it's not just this one day. What it's doing is creating this space for introspection, for a very deep emotional connection. It's not willy-nilly light, okay? This is heavy stuff because not only is it a Mars situation with Mars in Cancer. Mars is the ruler of Scorpio, of course. Mars is in Cancer. Now, on the dignity scheme, when we think about Mars in Cancer, it's actually in its fall. What does that mean? It just means that on the other side of the coin in Capricorn, Mars is in exaltation. It's like an emperor. It's the best version of Mars you can possibly get to just be like nailing it in Mars zone. Like the Mars in Capricorn is on it, man. Mars in Cancer is also on it, but in a way that is difficult for Mars to Mars. How do I mean like that? I mean, like, it's more like a mama bear, papa bear energy. It's a fighter for emotional security, for the family, for, that kind of thing. It's just a completely different version of Mars. Whereas, Cancer is it's lunar, it's maternal, it's family, it's all that stuff. And Mars in there is like, you say that to my family, I'm going to kick your ass kind of thing. Okay. But it's also very sensitive, very emotional, and it's challenging. So it's bringing that into our lives at the moment, a very challenging emotional period. Now, where do we have some benefit? Well, Saturn is coming in a supportive trine. Remember, that's the ride or die. It's like, I'm your best supporter. I will do anything you need me to do. That's trine energy. It's like, call me up in the middle of the night, I will be there. Don't even need to explain anything. That's a trine. Saturn's coming in from Pisces, giving this trine to say, I'm going to bring some of my mystical Piscean containment and help you make some boundaries in this emotional landscape. So that's kind of the gist of what's going on. Scorpio energy is all about loyalty and transformation and depth. So the further we get into the understanding, like beyond the shadow version of whatever is the pop astrology of Scorpio, yeah, it's deep. It's about forging bonds. Now, this particular one is about how do we reflect on what's aligned with us? What is authentic to you emotionally? That's what the question is, and that's what the answer you need to find is. What's genuinely supporting your growth? And what is draining you, like draining you, and needs to stop? It's pulled back to this very sensitive space, and that can lash out as well, feeling like lashing out. But the actions need to be moderated. And that's where Saturn comes in. It's like we might want to feel emotionally explosive and expressive, but Saturn comes in with that trine and like says, well, let's look and see in our own mirror. Where's it really coming from? Everything always comes back to the circle. Now let's talk about the Sabian symbol for this new moon. It's Scorpio 10, a fellowship supper. It's all about camaraderie. This is interesting because this is sort of a pulled back new moon, but it's also thinking about Mars and Cancer, which is family. It's fighting for that beautiful moment of fellowship, which is getting really lost fellowship. It used to be like you'd have dinner with your family and maybe your great uncle Ted or whatever. He had different views and would talk about things and his political beliefs. And it was just like, all right, well, there's Uncle Ted. Of course, he believes that. And it wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't personal. It was just like, well, there's Uncle Ted's feelings. And everybody still could kind of just get along and share a table together, share this. But it's become so mixed up. The world has become so personal. because we really have personalized so many things. We personalize our music that we listen to, we personalize the TV shows we watch, we personalize up the wazoo. So that removes a lot of these experiences. It makes it easy to be isolated in a way as well. This belonging and willingness to join up with others. It has its ups and downs, but in the long run, that's how we learn about ourselves. There's two paths. One is an individuation path, which I think everybody needs to be on. You need to know yourself. There's a Frida Kahlo quote that I'm going to paraphrase. Might not get it exactly right, but the gist of it was, fall in love with yourself, fall in love with life, and then fall in love with whoever else you want. That's the structure. I mean, it's quite brilliant. Number one is understanding and loving yourself. And it's so easy to say, really difficult to do. And then it's mixed up with ego and is this narcissism or whatever. When you truly accept and love yourself, it's not just the good stuff, it's the shadow. The shadow is half of what we are. So that's true individuation, is understanding the light and the shadow in us. Now, how do we do that? Through introspection and through interaction with others, fellowship, supper, people that disagree with us, people that agree with us, people that feel good to be around, people that are to be around. We learn about ourselves through opposition, through friction, through camaraderie, and through support. All four. And those are the alignments of astrology, really, if you think about it. The opposition is Saturnian, the square is frictional, it's Mars, the trine is Jupiterian, it's very supportive, and the sextile is Venusian, and that's stimulating. Before I go, I want to just give a shout out to Otter Spirit. I have been loving their products, and this is not sponsored whatsoever. I'm just telling you this because it's been something really helpful to me this week. This one is about balance, and it's tree agate. It's feels so powerful wearing it because I've really needed balance this week in my life. And when I wear these bracelets, they really align me with what I feel like I need in my life. I like you just the way you are, and I wish you the best, and I'll talk to you soon.